Hey, Georgia.
Hey, Alie, how do we make people want to listen to this in 15 seconds?
Can you burp the alphabet?
What is this?
I don't know. This is Slumber Party with Alie and Georgia.
That's our podcast. We talk a lot of shit.
Oh, we talk so much shit, but also we tell each other what we learned each week. We have things that we love, things that we hate, midnight snacks, perfect days, guests that are smart.
And I belch a ton.
So much belching.
Come listen. It's Slumber Party. Come listen.
Okay, yeah, with Alie and Georgia.
Bye. Alie, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, fire away, dude.
What?
Fire away, dude.
Oh. Yes or no? Finding the right hair color for you, Alie, can be a challenge.
What color is my hair right now?
Burgundy.
Yeah, was that on purpose?
No.
Did I need to use E-Salon?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I fucked it up. Oh, wait. You can scratch that.
No, it's great. E-Salon offers professional grade, leave that in, completely personalized hair color that's created just for you and delivered right to your door. Alie, you fucking need this.
I need it so much. This is the last time I will color my hair without taking the steps to get the right color. I grabbed a color off the shelf. It was the wrong color. My hair is maroon now.
Don't do it. Alie, do you love questionnaires?
Yes.
Here's a hair questionnaire. Upload your photo and a personal colorist will formulate your individually blended color from over 15,000 pigments.
Oh my God.
I know.
I need E-Salon and a time machine to go back to yesterday.
Totally. Well, they've got you covered. There's 100% satisfaction guaranteed if you're not happy, Alie.
Oh God, I need
with
this.
your color. It will give you a free reformulation or refund.
I think anything's better than what I did to myself before.
I mean, you look cute.
Thanks, dude. But you know what? I like that the color doesn't fade. Like they have the grays covered. Because I get some grays every once in a while.
I mean, at 23 years old, our gray is like pretending to start to come in.
I know. It's probably because we're such big thinkers.
We're so young.
So you can visit esalon.com/slumberparty, all one word. And do that. You get 50% off your first order. So that's $10 for your personalized hair color, which is crazy because the last time I got my hair colored in a salon, it was like $180.
Dude, you can do it your freaking self. I've been doing it my freaking self for years and years.
Yeah, I really got the wrong color. So I need to use eSalon. You get 50% off your first box at esalon.com/slumberparty. So go do that. Don't be an Alie Ward.
Send us photos too. Hashtag it at, I don't know, Alie and Georgia. Let's see your hair.
Yeah, just tag us in it on Instagram. Let's see your pictures.
Let's do it.
I want to look at your hair.
Bye.
Georgia just pointed the mic at me and I'm holding it.
That's Alie.
That was the most teen witch thing you've ever done.
And
we're keeping all of this. Welcome to Slumber Party with Alie and Georgia. I'm Alie.
I'm Alie.
She's Georgia.
Alie, what did you learn this week?
I learned that you're Alie. We're in a, as usual, it's Slumber Party. We're in a pillow fort in my apartment. It's really hot. Our engineer, Dustin, is in a teepee that is made for 6-year-old boys.
He has a tiara on this week.
Everything's great. It's Friday night. We're drinking wine spritzers. And I know that the last podcast you listened to, a couple of podcasts have been real sad up in this bitch.
Yeah, we got real. But this time it's fun and funny. We have a fun guest, so it's great. Nobody's breaking up with anyone this time.
Nope, we already did that last time. What did you learn this week, Georgia?
This week I learned, you know how I'm obsessed with real death shows?
Georgia.
True crime shows are like my fucking
but they're so
they're like
bad
chicken pot
for
pies
you.
to me. They're just like comfort food, right?
They're so bad.
I know, and I
for
get
you.
super depressed and shit, and I like get into a rabbit hole of like crazy, like, awful Wikipedia stuff. Well, one of the things I learned about that,
Okay.
No, I'm super depressed right now because I've been watching them. What?
I could tell because we had to drive to Westwood and back, and you stared out the window sad the entire time, and I was afraid to ask you what was wrong.
But you know who has the same obsession with me? So I think it's like, I feel like it's justified because this woman has the same obsession as I do.
Who?
Patton Oswalt's wife. Yes. Michelle McNamara. No, Michelle McNamara is Patton Oswalt's wife, and she's obsessed with like true crime.
That does not justify it.
It's fine. He's successful. It's fine.
No, having a successful husband does not justify being obsessed with death and peril.
I know, but she's up so.
There's some motorcycles out front.
So this week I learned that Patton Oswalt's wife, Michelle McNamara, is obsessed with true crime as well. And there's this like serial killer in Los Angeles that was the original Night Stalker who killed people in Irvine, which is where I'm from in the early 80s and late 70s, where my family fucking lived.
That's
I
doesn't
almost
make
died,
it okay.
Alie. I learned that I almost died.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Did he almost serial kill you?
He almost serial killed
He killed you 12 times before he was caught.
Weird, right?
Well, but leading back to it, the death shows don't make you happy, but you do them. Does that justify
really
it?
Comforting.
Why are they comforting?
No, it's just like
you get so sad.
I feel like we should introduce Emily Maya Mills.
Emily Maya
who
Mills
has something to say about this.
Is in our fort. She's here for our podcast. She's a comedian. She's does
actress,
one woman
writer,
shows.
super funny.
Oh, she's so good.
She's the one who's always nice to you at
God,
shows.
she's so good. Talk to us about faking death. Because here's the thing: as someone who loves Georgia and spends a lot of time with Georgia, it's like, don't do the death shows. They make you so scared and weird about things and paranoid. And,
no, I know,
and upset. And so it's like, just don't watch them. And she's like,
I know, but I do the same thing.
You live on the ground floor, though.
I know.
That would terrify me.
Yeah, but I have a barky dog.
Oh, that's right. You do.
And I also am not scared to punch somebody in the face or hit them with a baseball bat.
Guess what? They have a gun,
I don't,
dummy.
Yeah, no, I know, but there's something that I've always had. I think growing up in a city where I was like, I learned to out psycho the psycho, and that's my greatest line of defense. It's
Aren't you from Marin?
No, I'm from San Francisco.
I think the dog. I mean, yeah, you're tough as shit. And I'd be terrified of me, but the dog is super helpful.
It's not wise that I'm not more scared.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah.
I was born in San Francisco. I went to college in San Francisco.
Girlfriend.
And I went to a lot of goth clubs when I was in San Francisco. And I would step over heroin needles. I walked around in the city all hours of the night, never afraid. It wasn't
How do you know they were heroin? They could have been insulin.
Well, sure. It was in the tenderloin. I'm sure there were just a lot of diabetics up in that piece. But it wasn't until I moved to LA, got attacked by two guys with knives, that I started being like, oh, this shit's for real. Because when I lived in San Francisco, I was like, it's like the shitty part of Disneyland. It's like Scaryland.
Well, because it's so tiny. Yeah, no, because it's so tiny. But it is urban, I guess, when you're like 8 and taking public transit around town. You kind of you learn fast. You go to,
your parents let you take public transit?
I don't know what it is,
They
but
do that in San Francisco.
they do, because the Muni is so effective and reliable.
Well,
and so
community.
It is community.
So you
but
think people are watching over you.
Yeah, but they're also...
They'll stab a bitch. They don't care how young
they're whipping out a dick and spitting a loogie on you, too.
I know. I never was scared in San Francisco.
No, but I wasn't either, and I think it's the sort of quaintness of it. But when I moved to LA, I think there's like another... We might have been not super wise to be not scared, because it's still an urban environment and everything's just clustered together and it feels cute.
Well, you know what I felt when I lived in San Francisco is that the crazy. In LA, you don't fucking know who's crazy. The guy who looks super normal is crazy.
And it's also sprawling. And so there are no parameters. It just feels like
avoid this place.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh, I know when I go here, I do this and so has my back. There's no sense of that. I used to work at the Downtown Standard and I would walk outside and I never was ever scared in San Francisco, as far as like, well, I think it's because you just toughen up just enough, to deal with your circumstances. But I would come out of the Downtown Standard with I'd pull a coat hanger out longwise and then have it with my keys. Like I was just gonna, I don't know, hook somebody in the face. But I really did, just to get to my car. Like it was necessary to have that sense of, dads would
as
be
girls,
proud.
we should be a little terrified. Alie, what did you learn this week?
I learned that coat hangers can kill someone. Apparently. Actually, when I got mugged by two guys, a coat hanger wouldn't have helped me.
No, I know.
It helps you running real fast. But I'm trying to think, what did I learn this week?
Did you run from them?
Yeah, no, two guys. This is the worst opening to a podcast ever.
It's the best.
Okay,
let's get real.
I was not afraid of anything. I would go to goth, S&M bondage clubs when I was 16 and be like, I like the music. So I was never afraid in San Francisco of anything. And then in LA, these two guys mugged me in broad daylight.
In Larchmont Village.
I was walking to Larchmont Village to go to the bank to deposit money, actually. And so I was like, well, they clearly just want my purse. And so I took my purse like a football and just threw it as far as I could, started running, turned around, memorized their license plate, and then ran to a payphone And then
Did you get
Possible
them?
outcome.
yeah, we had to go to court, and
Oh, you got them.
yeah, they were like 17, so they were in trouble for about 6 months, and then their records get cleaned at 18. But still, but it was like I wasn't scared of anything in San Francisco ever. I would walk to my car alone. It didn't even occur to me. And then in LA, I'm like, oh. So like watching death shows, it's like there's enough fear. You don't have to make it worse
No,
for
I know.
yourself.
I
know.
It's like a really, really spicy burrito that then you like put ghost pepper chilies on.
But
don't
it
have to
does seem
eat
like it seems a little bit elsewhere as far as
Yeah.
like, and there's also something about things being wrapped up a little bit by
it's not even like it's
cases
not a
being-
mugging. It's this person who walked out of their house and unexpectedly met this crazy thing. It's not like I was in Watts and I got fucking mugged, or like it's not like this like
Total racist.
simple thing. It's this
That's
like
less-
where did this person go? There was blood found in this person's truck, so maybe it was that person. I just like the puzzles of
the
it.
psychodynamics of it.
Yeah.
Like I definitely would agree with like what makes people tick, and brain science and neuroscience is very, very much something that interests me.
Yeah.
And I think there is a morbidity about it. There's also something that I haven't been able to put my finger on where I agree that there's something weirdly comforting. I guess it's because I don't know. Are you looking fear in the face? It's like, it's a little less time spent like concerning yourself with the fear, the like created fear of the,
Do you feel
anxiety and
like
brain.
you're like the dark side exists, so you might as well step into it with your whole body and confront it
Yeah.
instead of just being like, what could happen to me? It's like, oh, this could happen to me.
Yeah. I think that
not
is
being
it.
naive.
I don't like horror movies, oddly enough. I don't
hate
like
horror
being scared in that way.
I feel like when I watch those shows, I'm arming myself with something in a way where it's like, well, this will never happen to me because I've seen what happens. It's not even just like I was walking in a dark parking lot and some guy jumped out. It's like, no, this person's like
That's so
brother-in-law was like creepy and no one ever trusted him.
Yeah.
And now he killed his
Yeah,
so
I
it's
feel like I'm
I will never
hypersensitive
be-
to psychodynamics. Yeah.
Wait, you're training yourself not to trust anyone.
Yes,
That's
yes,
so
yes.
fucked up.
No, I'm training myself to let a person have give me evidence to trust them. I'm not just going to trust them off the bat, which I think is fine.
Disagree with that though, because I remember George and I were in New Orleans, and a guy got in the elevator, and I do, got in. Some dumb white guy that looked like he was from Texas had a whatever, and it pressed a button. He got out on his floor, and Georgia had been holding her breath the whole time because she was like, oh well, yeah, I pictured him pressing the button to a different floor, taking us to a floor, and then killing us there. And I was like, it's 2 p.m.
Yeah.
We're in a Holiday Inn. Like I would never ever think that. So
Unwanted thoughts.
But what if what if there's a 50%
to distrust people?
But what? Yeah. Okay. So at the same time, though, Alie, if you had gotten on that elevator by yourself, listen, this guy had gotten off at the same. If I had gotten off an elevator by myself and someone got the same as me, I would walk a different direction as my hotel room, so they wouldn't know where I'm staying.
Yeah, I would
you
do the
that,
same.
Emily?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a guy who's now living in my apartment building where I'm like, who's the shuffly bald guy? Why does he keep creeping around? Like, where did he come from? I don't, you know what I mean? Like, he
sound
fits
like
a
a Tom Waits
profile.
song.
He
What's
does.
he
The
building
shuffly
in
bald
the
guy
woods?
building in the. But I'll take it to another level.
Yeah.
I served on a jury, like
Damn.
served on a serial rape case.
Shut up.
That was super crazy all over Hollywood, like right around all of the places that I work.
No.
And go, like, yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God.
It was crazy. And oddly, and this is not about being morbid or taking comfort in like other people's pain. It's just about, for some reason, there was something really gratifying about seeing that case through.
Sure.
To the other and sort of learning whatever there was to be learned about the
What did you learn?
craziness of that experience. Well, that people are fucked up out there.
knowing that.
So that being said, it's almost like if you're able to look in the eyes of the fractal minority, like the reality of it being that it's not everyone is fucked up out there, it's that some people are fucked up out
really,
there,
really
and so you
fucked
are
up.
really, really fucked up. And so if you are able to sort of like feel like you could turn around and face that in an alleyway in some way that is recognizable.
But it's never in an alleyway. I feel like
I'm
that's
just
the
saying.
point.
I'm like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it feels like we're taking it on.
Yeah. I think
would
like
rather
I
not
feel
know.
like I'm arming myself, and it's
No,
never
I
in
don't
an
like that.
alleyway. It's like I'm not safe here. It's in broad daylight in the middle of fucking Larchmont. You just don't know when shit's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
but you know what? How many death shows did I watch? 0. What did I do? I took my purse, I threw it like a football, I ran, I turned around, I memorized the plate, and then I called the cops. I
Right.
have watched 0 death shows.
And on some level, I envy you. I mean, I do.
Meh.
I'd love to be more innocent.
The other thing is, can I tell you a funny story about that? Okay. So, it was Larchmont, people were driving by. I was trying to flag people down to help me after, this happened, and no one would stop. And then a guy finally came around the block about 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, found me. He's like, I'm so sorry. I saw the whole thing happen, but I thought it was just a film shoot.
Oh,
and then
I go through that all the
and
time.
then he
Like,
realized
what
it was
kind of scream am I hearing right now? Is it a murder
That's why you're
scream?
supposed to scream
I know.
fire, right?
Or is it really?
Yeah, people come running when they hear fire, but they don't.
Is that a Hollywood thing though? Because
No.
it's specific to this place.
Well, I don't know about this place, but I've always heard that if you're being raped, yell fire. Because
Oh,
if you're
you
being
guys.
mugged, yell fire. Because people are like, fire.
You
and
know
then
what
everyone
happened,
sticks
though?
their fucking head out the window.
I'll tell you the truth, though. When
Yes, you haven't heard that? Seriously.
you guys
they
are learning
don't-
so
if
much.
you scream
If you
rape,
yell rape
they
or like
don't.
help, everyone hides because there's this like psychological testing that like everyone thinks someone else is helping. If
Right,
someone yells
it's
help
diffused
and everyone's
responsibility.
looking out the window, everyone is like that person. Someone must be helping. If you yell fire,
Everyone's like, oh shit, my
fire,
goose is
Let's all
cooking.
get outside.
and everyone runs out to look.
You guys I hope our listeners are learning so much about how dark our brains
yeah. Yours is light, nice and light.
No, I
You're
mean,
the lane.
yeah.
the weird thing about me, and I think that gets me into probably a lot of trouble interpersonally, is that I just trust everyone. I want to trust everyone's a good person, and if they do something fucked up,
Yeah, and I think that I used to think that, and then I think I got some particular life experiences where it was like, and to a fault, I think like experiences with like sociopaths, say, or in your particular position where it's like you think people are good, but then you realize the definition of enabling, and so like. Then I think I probably have overcorrected in certain ways, and I wish I had a little bit of the light that you live in.
do you know sociopaths? Are
Yeah.
sociopaths unicorns? Like, are they a thing that we
They're
all
very-
know and can identify but don't really exist?
Do sociopaths know they're sociopaths?
What was your sociopath
No.
experience?
They don't, right?
No,
They think everyone's like them.
no, they think everyone's like them, and they also like there's like that. I think a defining factor is not ever being responsible for anything that happens or affects other
They don't
people.
care that
do.
everyone is
No,
a
it's just never
sociopath or
there.
not.
Like they never recognize that they are the commonality. And
Huh.
Like, what happened? Was like, did a guy sell you a car and he turned out to be a sociopath? Did you date one?
I dated one. Like my first big
No.
grand love of like end of high school into throughout college, like 5 years of my life. But I'm glad it was like a very total feeling of absolute love for sure. But I, realized in retrospect, like, okay, there were patterns. And now looking back on that, it was a definite character type that I recognize instantaneously
You do?
everywhere I
Why
go.
do you think you were
It's
drawn to
troublesome.
that?
Everyone is.
Oh, you
Everyone
think
is.
so? Okay.
Oh yeah,
What are they like? They're very charming.
incredibly charming. They're incredibly charming. They're, forward and aggressive in their,
Earnest.
earnest. That's one thing I would say in terms of like male to female relationships. I would say the most defining factor is like, if one is a womanizer, they are truly in love or experiencing the sensation that they are in love with that individual at that time, but it just shifts tomorrow and then the next day and the next day. You know what I
So
mean?
it's not like they're not in love and manipulating it. They're in love, but they can move it around as much as they want.
yeah.
Huh.
I think that, but that is a form of manipulation because it's not responsible
Yeah.
to anyone else.
Yeah.
It's only
Did you
responsible
ever
to
call the
themselves.
guy on it? Were you ever like, hey, what's up? You're in my phone as sociopath now. You ever like, I changed it to Sir Sos.
Yeah,
did you ever confront him?
a little bit. Well, no, the tragic thing about that person is that he became a full-blown drug addict over time and sort
Wow.
of deteriorated into that in a way that's like you almost don't see, because we're now no longer in our 20s. In your 20s, it's like not recognizable as such, as that decline where it's like it all sort of seems somewhat normal. And then at the end of it, where we are, I am, in my 30s, it's like Oh yeah,
you're
that
still
was
doing that thing that you've been doing
in a way that is absolutely just like a really fucked up existence.
Are you still Facebook friends?
I think we are still Facebook friends. Every once in a while, I get like a sort of AA or NA like apology like that. Like you are.
sixth step.
What about? Do you have any crushes on anyone? Let's talk slumber party crushes. Seriously, do you have a crush or an internet crush, even on
or an animated crush?
Animated crush.
Coach McGurk, home movies. I'm in love with you. Call me.
Delicious.
Call me H. John Benjamin.
Do you have a crush on someone or a
I'm
person?
trying to think.
Even a Twitter crush.
I'm trying to think, like, no real Twitter crush per se. A lot of professional crushes.
Ooh.
Again, this is so tragic, but like I think I rationalized once I started being able to psychoanalyze everybody around me that I was like, oh, crushes as adults. If you like somebody and they respond in kind, you date. Otherwise, what is the point?
No,
so
that's
just
so
like
rational.
It's so rational. It sucks. But I mean, I've definitely had like adult full-blown crushes. Like I definitely can think of one person that is like what I consider like I allow myself this like ideal.
It's kind of fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
To crush on someone.
I'm just like, you're the ideal.
Well, what is, because you're so level-headed, but you're funny, and those things usually don't go together. You grew up like on a straight-up commune, though.
No,
right?
well,
or
no.
what was your parents were like hippies?
They were crazy. Like when they first got married, they drove across the country in a VW bus out to San Diego, and then they got this like they lived on some friend's plot at the end in the foothills of Auburn County, and they built their first house by hand. Jesus. And they had my brother, they had me at home. And it was like, I always joke that they only came out of the woods to look for work in the 80s because they were like broke, you know, they were just like, you can't sustain that lifestyle. And then when they moved to San Francisco to get work, they also then got this little plot of land called Seaview, and they built a little cabin up there by hand as well. And they have a lot of friends out there in the woods who still live in the woods.
Does
and
your mom shave her armpits?
I don't think she does actually.
I didn't think so.
She doesn't give a fuck about a lot of that stuff.
What was it like? Did they grow up in super like militant homes? Like
My dad definitely grew up in a militant
he was
home.
rebelling against it.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, my mom's home was militant in a different way. I think her mother was militant in her own very Italian way. And, yeah, I think that they were, I had a weird amount of insight into my mom recently where like, I think she was like a middle child who felt like a black sheep. You know what I mean? Like you don't realize that about your own parents, that they have those types
my mom
of.
is the baby, and that's why she's
really
the way she is.
Interesting.
That's why she flirts with everyone.
Janet.
I love that name. I
know.
want it.
Janet.
I
Hey.
want that haircut.
That's the haircut you're thinking of. Emily, pick one of these out of this purse, and Allie's going to read it to you, and you have to answer it.
It's a slumber party game.
party question.
Don't worry about it.
Party question.
Okay, here we go.
I'll do a Roger Rabbit
you?
for y'all.
Oh wait, we did this on our. We did this the
it.
last time we had a podcast, but we're gonna do it because we picked
a
it
good question.
out of the hat, and it's a great question. But what is the most embarrassing thing your family would find when cleaning out your house after you die? Oh no!
Shoot, this is. I feel like. Ooh, okay. How do we make this fun?
You can pass. You don't.
Mine would be journals.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah, definitely journals. I guess it would honestly be a drawer full of dildos.
Yep, mine too. Hello Kitty vibrator. What's up? Pick another one.
Okay.
Dildo drawer.
I mean, it's not as like
This
cartoony
podcast-
as it sounds.
This podcast brought to you by the Pleasure Chest.
But it is something that I would tell a guest to stay out of.
If you could not grow in the fourth drawer down, that would be amazing.
It's kind of a top drawer. It's interesting.
A top drawer.
Top shelf.
Top shelf.
Do you have a secret talent? That's what this thing says.
Secret talent. Yeah, I can do it right now. I mean, it's not that big a deal. I feel like anybody. I mean, not anybody, but.
Doink, 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 doink.
What is that? You're just okay. Can we?
Doink, 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 doink.
She's putting her fist over her face and like just making the weirdest noise I've ever heard in my life. You feel like
Not everybody
do
does
that?
it.
What is
That was like a camp thing, I thought. Or at least it was at my camp.
Do it, Allie.
I don't know what you did.
There's a secret to it.
What do you, Emily? Okay, so Emily put her fist up to her mouth and then Martian noises came out, and I don't understand life.
What's the secret?
The secret is that there's a word that you say.
What's the word?
Girl.
Girl.
No.
It didn't work.
But it needs tension. You need to like through the smallest little hole.
Okay.
Boing.
No!
No, it's fucking weird. You guys, I'm looking at it and it's fucking weird. The other thing is we had Pete Holmes on the podcast and he talked to us about transcendental meditation mantras, and maybe it's just that. Maybe that's your mantra. Like.
Yes.
That's
creepy.
Really, you learned that in camp?
Yeah.
Did you go to camp like on Neptune?
No, I went to camp in Massachusetts, weirdly enough.
Did you really? Was it Bible camp?
No.
Oh.
It was like a weird where I never got to go away to like sleepaway camp. We just didn't. And then one year we got this thing in the mail and it was like sort of like collegiate academic camp at Wellesley College. And Mom was like, yeah, you can go to that.
Get the fuck out of here for 2 weeks. I went to Jewish camp and my in my cabin was Zoe, what was her name? Fonzie's daughter. The Fonzie's
Zoe
daughter.
Fonzie? Oh, yeah.
Winkler.
Zoe
Winkler.
Winkler. Sorry. And in my cabin was Zoe Winkler. And everyone wanted to make out with her because they could say that they made out with the Fonz's daughter.
I bet.
Yeah. So I made out with her. I made out with the Fonz.
You
no,
did not.
I didn't. I was like in 6th grade.
For a minute, I was like, ugh.
Hey.
Wait, I have a question though. So you grew up with like hippie parents and then like they were into academics. How did you get into comedy? Like when did that start happening? I always wondered that about you.
Yeah,
'Cause you're
no,
so
I mean-
fucking funny.
Oh,
You're
my-
so
thanks.
good. Emily My Mills, get hip to it. If you're not, which you are because you're listening to this stuff. No, how did that happen?
Well, I just, to be honest, I got into acting first when I was in high school. I had always wanted to, but the truth is, a lot of this like dark shit, that we brought up at the beginning of I was a very like troubled teenager. Really? Very deep, dark, like running away from home.
No.
Like it was so sad. I was so sad when I was like 14. And it's just, I don't know how else to describe it. I think there was like there were a lot of things going on, but the salvation was doing plays and doing drama. I remember being in trouble all the time. I was always in trouble with my dean at high school. And then when I finally started doing plays, I think was like, this is big. You know, he was like, this is going to save us. And so I would go and the registrar, Sue, the registrar at my high school, her office, like her window faced the waiting room of the dean's office. So I was always sitting in the dean's office getting in trouble, waiting to go in. And she was my biggest fan. She would like buy tickets at the day they went on sale. And it was very, very sweet. And I had a lot of like this sort of comic relief roles at the time. And so I'd be sitting in that office waiting to go in and get suspended. There were times where it was like, it would have killed the show if I had been suspended that day. And there was like all this stuff and they both, but Sue would always be sitting there like, oh gee, oh God. Watching me sit there ready to go in and get like either kicked out of school, we hope not, but you know,
Wow.
Somehow surviving it. And then I went to college for acting, and I think like there was a part of me that was like I thought comedy came easy to me, so then I was like, I'm gonna really focus on getting in touch with my dramatic side, and that actually was difficult at the time, and then that became easy, and then I wanted to kind of come back, and I think by the time I started doing comedy for comedy's sake, it was just like because I missed it.
So you're performancely talented, is what you're saying.
Performancely?
Yep, I went with it. I knew at the time I was saying that it was wrong, but I went with it.
You can put
really
that on your
interesting.
resume. Put that on your resume and smoke it.
I'm gonna put yeah.
Georgia Hartsburg.
Well, you guys just sold a show, so that's gonna go a long way on my resume.
Yep.
Have you guys
Yes.
announced that yet? Should I?
We signed all the paperwork at our lawyer's office today.
I love
crazy.
Yeah,
this.
it's super
We're
weird.
crazy.
You guys.
I know.
It's really exciting. We're
We're
gonna
just-
have parties on the show, so you should come to our. Oh, we're gonna have a poker night. Will you come to the poker night?
absolutely.
Okay, here,
Yeah.
pick another one.
I just won $15 in Vegas last
Shut
week.
up.
So.
How'd you win it in Vegas?
Roulette. And no, sorry, I won $5 on roulette, then lost 10. Then I went over to blackjack at the request of the bride. It was the bachelorette party. She demanded, and then we went over to this table and bought in at $15. I got 17. I asked for a hit, and the dealer was like, you realize you have 17 on the table, right? And I was like, hit me.
Get it?
She landed a 4. Yeah, it was perfect. She dropped a 4. And we were just like, wow.
That's amazing.
And then I go, can I cash out? She goes, yeah, you can cash out. Guess it pays to be lucky. And like everyone at the table was like, fuck you, get out of
You
here.
just fucked up their entire game. I've learned that when you sit down at some blackjack table with a bunch of people, and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like they all know what they're doing, and you sitting down is fucking up their game.
That's
They
so
were
stressful.
pissed.
I know.
It makes me want to hug everyone from behind and be like, I'm so sorry. And whisper that into their ear and then just kiss them right on the neck. And then you go
Yes.
you get a daiquiri.
Yes.
Are you ready for the next question?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Sometimes we do this on Slumber Party. We talk about lady stuff. Not vaginas. But do you have one beauty product or a DIY shit, like you rub salt on your face? I don't know. Do you have a thing?
Yeah, like
you
what's
do?
your like? You guys don't know about this.
You're like, oh, there's just one thing you got to get a hit
But,
to.
like I put mayonnaise in my hair and it makes my hair super soft.
Seriously?
Yeah.
yeah, it smells
Interesting.
awful. I tried it once. I smelled like a hoagie. It was the worst thing that ever happened to me. But it made my
one
hair
of those?
soft.
Interesting. Yeah, I do use the argan oil on pretty much everything. I like that a lot. I
Does it
feel
make
like
you
that's a
break
new
out?
thing. I just keep it above the.
Do you put it
nose
argan
line.
oil on your face? You put Moroccan oil on your goddamn face?
Under my eyes.
really?
Huh.
Yeah. I get really dehydrated. I feel like I need some kind of like, I always feel like I'm working out a baseball glove or something. Like I need some oil, you want to
Just
keep that shit
moisturizing some
saturated. Yeah.
I knew some people who, I knew some ladies in the 80s who used to tan with Pennzoil. You heard it here first.
Ooh, that is.
Baby oil.
Baby oil.
Pennzoil, though?
No, that's
Are you kidding me?
disgusting.
That's fucking Appalachian shit.
That's
They look terrible.
That's
FYI,
like,
kids.
I feel like evolution gone awry.
Yep. It's
Just
so wrong at every level.
man and nature not okay with
Any
each other.
question also?
I have
Any
a
other?
question though.
The other, well, yeah.
When you buy like argan oil, Moroccan oil for your hair, can you use that on your body?
Yeah, I buy one that's like skin quality, and then I put it in my. It's secondary for my hair. Like sometimes I use it on my hair, but I dab a little. The pure vitamin E and the pure argan. I need like some oil sometimes. Like it's like a little treatment. It's kind of like what I think is like homemade serum, basically.
Yeah.
I like the serums.
Like
And
avocado oil and stuff.
you can spend so much money.
What's your other one?
Just something that I learned from being in the chair. The more I had like people professionally doing my hair, I realized because I have curly hair, so all it takes is like one little curling iron and take a couple of the pieces that look frizzy and curl them, and then it looks like you did your fucking head.
And the rest are just let them, because Alie and I both have curly hair as well.
It really simplifies things. I had no idea it was that easy. It takes 2 seconds.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Your hair is pretty fabulous.
Oh,
She's got a fabulous,
oh,
just a sassy bob.
I've got a Leo's mane, as my mother would tell you.
I feel like your hair is in between mine and Allie's, actually.
In curl factor.
Yeah.
I have to say, any boys listening out there who are like, psh, moisturize. Boys, moisturize.
Get
You
your
guys.
face
You want to
in
look
there.
good.
Also, trim your nose hair, guys.
George is really into trimming nose hairs.
Guys still trim their nose
You
hair.
like to do it, or you
No, I
like-
just want them to do it themselves.
Yeah.
You know what's gross? Is if I'm dating someone, I want to clean their ears out.
You do?
Yeah, I want to get in there.
That's a weird. I've never heard of that.
I'm like, because sometimes they'll have like flaky skin or whatever, and it's like,
and you want to do it.
I'm like,
There's something
let me help you with that.
wonderful about that.
It's a really intimate, because like you can suck anyone's D any time of the day or night.
Can
But
you?
it takes a thing to be like, I'm gonna Q-tip your ears.
Honestly, I
'Cause there's
used to.
stuff
I
coming
used
out
to
of it.
give my
intimate.
ex-boyfriend a pedicure, and it was incredibly satisfying.
Okay, I gave an ex-boyfriend an enema once.
What? Shut your face!
Oh my god!
Are you getting this? Are you recording this?
Are you?
Second detail, it was in Florida.
Oh,
Of course it was.
Sure.
It's where enemas
Oh
happen.
my god!
Enema capital of the world, Florida.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he give it
fact-
to him himself?
I don't know. We've never had one before, and Just in a bag. I have to
What?
know. We had a great sex life, though. It was like a fucking anything goes kind of a thing.
Obviously.
It was like sure, let's get an enema. I'll administer that.
Oh,
What did he need it for?
I don't know. It seems backed up.
You guys were mutually into this idea.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a little backed up. Oh, you're a little backed up, are you? Do you mind if I...
Is I never had ass sex with this guy. This particular never
With his ass?
Never with his or mine. But I mean, I was like, sure, I'll give you.
so it was
weird.
like
with
you just
butthole.
introduced the butthole as an enema thing, not
was
as
too
like
medical.
a sexual
It-
thing.
We didn't
The
have
butthole
butt sex
became
though.
medical.
It was like kind of adorable and cute and intimate. I don't know.
I mean, I'm okay with
Did the poop fall out?
No, what happens is like you're like, all right, it's all up there.
See you in 5 minutes.
See you in 5 minutes. Let me know how it goes. And then
That
you excuse
is-
yourself. And then they excuse themselves.
Deeply.
I don't know, but we dated
then
for
they
like a
excrete
couple of years,
themselves.
and it was like, but it's one of those things where it's like if you really like someone, it's like kind of adorable.
Yeah.
Did you
And
feel like you were heightening your intimacy
Yeah,
and
it
your
was
physical
totally super
relationship?
intimate. And we had great sex life,
You
like,
didn't
then and
peak.
after.
Okay.
It
I
wasn't
get it.
like,
That's,
oh, that
it's
ruined
shocking
it.
to hear that and hilarious, but I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know. The weird thing is I'm like kind of, I seem kind of shy and like I won't do karaoke and everything. And I'm like, I don't sleep with a lot of different guys in between guys, but what if I'm sleeping with you? I'm sleeping with you.
Yeah.
Like there's no bound.
That's so satisfying, though. That's
The way
there's
there's
to do
nothing
it.
worse than like a terrible one night stand that's so regrettable and then it's embarrassing.
Right.
And then you see them and you're like, ugh.
Right.
That's the worst.
Want to pick
Yes.
another one? Now that we're
Please.
on to enemas.
I
another.
make the mistake of.
I'm really
Not-
sorry. I
not
just
one
diverted.
night
No, that was
stands.
amazing. You're really what?
I said I'm really guilty of, or not guilty. No, that's a terrible. That's absolutely not the
I'm
word. I was
guilty of a
looking for.
lot of one night stands.
Not the opposite, where it's like it's not about one night stands. It's like you find someone that you know really well, and then you're like, oh, this is
Safe.
safe. Well, you can't do that very often.
No.
I know.
Because then you've slept with all your friends.
Yeah. Not all of them. You cut it off at a certain point, then you're just dry for the rest of your life.
Well, is it weird?
And then if you like one, you can't sleep with them because you've slept with all of them. I'm sorry, what? Where are we going?
No, is it weird though, Emily? Because like you're like one of. There's not a lot of women in the comedy scene, which sucks and it's terrible. You go to see improv shows and it's like all guys, and then there's you in the middle of a rap battle, like killing it. Which, by the way, Emily My Mills rap battles, fucking amazing. Get hip to it,
silliest
UCBLA.
way.
But is it weird for you being like? Do you draw the line? Are you like, I know you professionally that I won't date, or are you like, there's people I have crushes on, but we work together?
No, I mean, I felt like really easy about it for a long time, and then it came to a point where it becomes a major consideration. You know, I think it's just time goes on, and most lately, my biggest problem is that like I'm of a certain age, and everybody who seems to have legitimate interest at this point they're all 28.
Dude, there's so many
And,
28
like, they're all 28. They come out of the
So many.
woodwork.
You
It's like some
guys.
kind of like caveman.
So many 20.
Can I request that everyone become
Primordial
35
shit.
immediately?
Yeah, get on it. Get on the 35 tip
Dude.
quick.
Where are the 35-year-old guys? Are their wives all pregnant?
They're
Are they walking
married.
the Silver Lake
I think
Reservoir with
so.
pregnant wives?
Yeah.
And then
That-
all of the ones that are like, well, I'm not fucking a stripper in the valley. I'm 28. Maybe I'll have a girlfriend. But yeah, it's weird.
No,
Gross.
but they'll be very like purposeful and like proactive. But they're 28, and if they're 28 in their comics, I'm like, there's no fucking
Yeah,
way.
you don't want that.
I mean, not even for fun.
Nope. It's not fun.
It's like because then it's like a coworker. You know what I mean? Like what you can't. This is
Or you're
this is a
like-
professional
or it's
situation.
like you're babysitting or something, or it's like,
Well, yeah, my joke is
I'm
always
gonna
like, what are
teach
you
you a
gonna ride your skateboard over to my house and take me bowling?
yeah, I don't want to. You know what? I don't want to be. I don't want to be like the teacher. You know, like I don't want to.
But you have a paddle.
Yeah, because I want to be spanked.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good point.
I want to be spanked.
You need.
Alie, I want to be spanked.
I'm busy right now.
This just goes out on an
But-
echo, and that's the end of the,
You know what's
the
creepy though?
podcast.
Is if you've ever dated a guy younger than you, if you try to do the math on whether or not you could have babysat him, it's like, okay, if I were 15 and a goth, like I dated a guy who was 9 years younger than me, you would have been 6.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
would have been a goth girl giving you a bath. Like,
yeah.
that's so gross.
And
Yeah.
you would have been a brat to me. But guess what? You're still a brat. I'm dating you.
Yeah.
I would have like, I would
In
have
a way, I think that's a little bit of it. Like why there's I think a functionality of like fertility and all of that. There's a biological functionality to the 28-year-olds that come out of the woodwork when you're in your mid-30s, but I think that's a little bit of it. That's like the fantasy becomes a reality. You were the distance of age between me when we were babysitters, and I wanted to fuck the shit out of you when I was a little pecker.
You were the coolest thing I've ever met in my life. And I watched you and your boyfriend make out on the couch when you thought I was asleep, but now I get to make out with you. Oh, you know what I did? One thing I did learn is that go on. Ask this question.
One thing Georgia learned is that when your parents are older, when you are an infant, you will be attracted to older guys.
Thank you,
or
Alie.
women. Is that true?
Yes. So my dad and mom were like 35 when they had me, and I like older dudes. And Alie, you like younger dudes.
I like them green bananas.
Gross.
It's really nasty.
I like them bruised.
Oh
and
man, I wish I
tattered.
could.
You're like a black banana. Let's make banana bread.
Like
and
if
I'm like,
one of your
oh,
parents are
shit's not
dead,
right.
like it's on.
I can't handle it. I like younger dudes. I can't. It's weird and awful. But the thing that you pulled out of the hat that I never read was Ghost Story. Yay! Do you have a ghost story?
Do you believe in ghosts? Do you have ghost stories?
Like a real one?
Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah, I do.
Don't tell us like the plot of like Insidious or something.
No, Emily's face just got
when
real.
When I said ghost real one, I meant like one for the campfire, like one of those, or a
Oh,
real
like
one.
you're
Like a real ghost story.
Okay. I used to work at the Standard Hotel on Sunset, and that's like known to be haunted. I guess it was an old folks' home for a long time. It was the Thunderbird Motel, and then it was a convalescent home. And the office that I worked in, I was a food and beverage manager in our food and beverage office downstairs. In the parking garage was used to be the morgue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So because in a convalescent home, when someone dies of natural causes, there's no reason for an autopsy, so they just roll them downstairs and they keep them on ice until the funeral. There's no need to take them out to a medical facility. Literally. They chill like in our stocking cage, like literally.
Smell?
Oh no! I mean, it had been totally redone. Like I don't even think that the room was the same room or partitions or whatever. And so, but it was known, I guess, that spirits roamed the halls, and I didn't really have a particular absolute belief. I wanted to, but I was always looking for signs or whatever. And one day there were a couple of things that happened where I started to realize that there was activity for sure. There was one incident where I came in and like all the night guys were in the office going, oh my God, you got to look at this. You got to look at this. What? Holy shit. And they'd been calling their parents in Texas and they were freaking out. And like the water cooler was like being expulsive in a way that was like seemed like it was sort of in a rhythm that was communicate. I don't know how to explain it. Like the water when it was sort of not vibrating but swishing back and forth,
Like between hot and cold.
No, in the water cooler in the actual tub, it was like it would explode a little bit with a bubble, and then the way that it would rock back and forth never seemed to slow in propulsion, if that makes any sense. So it was like just this ticking almost in its velocity, right?
Yeah.
It's like tick, 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 tick.
And it
tick,
wouldn't
tick, tick.
stop?
It wouldn't slow. Like it would not slow. It was very strange. And then I had an experience one day upstairs in the cafe. I went to the bathroom and I had this giant key ring, this manager key ring that had tons of keys on it. And I sat down and I put it on the purse hook. And the same thing happened where like, this is where I started to believe in ghosts, where it was like, more so, I believe that there is a possibility that entities could move, energetically move things and try to communicate. I mean, I didn't see any person. So this was happening with that key ring.
What do you mean? What was
the
happening?
same thing was tick, 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 tick. The velocity of it swaying back and forth, and it never slowed. Like I sat there and I watched it for so long that I finally got freaked out and I grabbed it. And then when I walked out, there was a woman sitting at table 1, and she had these like deep gazy blue eyes, and she was very ethereal, and she was sort of looking around, and I had already noticed her before I went in, and she goes, the spirits are very active today, aren't they?
No.
And she was that lady. Like she was the lady that fucking would have been
She was the
saying that.
poltergeist
She
midget.
was. Yes, absolutely.
Oh my God.
It was unbelievable. And so to me, like I never saw a figure, but there was always talk of that. But that was more to me, I think, like in terms of physics, made too much sense. Like
Because
there
you don't
was something
expect
that
to see
actually
a human, but you were expecting like some weird sign.
Yeah, that it was like, oh, I'm bending your laws of physics right now to communicate in some way. And that was activity
cool.
enough for me to be... So, I guess in terms of my logic...
Who's the woman?
I don't know.
Oh my God. That's so scary.
It's almost
like
creepier
that.
than like...
Yeah.
I mean, because I guess it all boils down to like doors and windows and all that stuff. But when it becomes inexplicable or unexplainable that... things are just moving, I feel like there is potential.
What happened to me when I was a kid.
Yeah. There's potential for that being a form of communication, that it's just sort of bending our laws of physics.
And I think that makes so much more sense is like, than other than like, here I am, or it's like, I can do this little thing. You know, when I was like 4 or 5, I was lying in bed at night and I had like the closets that, you know, they were on tracks and you moved them. And I was always an insomniac, and I was laying there staring at the closet, and then one of them opened.
Shut.
And then I froze, and then I ran into my parents' bedroom, and then I saw a couple other things in my life, but
That's real terror. That's real terror.
Terrifying.
I don't know if I believe it though.
Do you think?
Would you have a sibling? Was there someone in your closet?
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
she was
what's
sleeping.
worse?
No, I have siblings, but we didn't have animals or anything like that. It opened on its own, like just a good foot, but like not slowly. It moved open a foot. But I don't. But that could have been my imagination.
Wow.
But I remember it very, very clearly.
If you had like it was vivid for you.
Yeah, because I had to run when I went to my parents' bedroom. And I had to run by the closet to get to my parents' bedroom, which is why it took me so long to get out of bed. And that was like, I felt like something was chasing me. It was like the most terrifying.
But you don't believe in ghosts?
No.
Have you ever had any other experience like that?
Yeah.
Others, yeah. See,
George has had like 10
because you
ghost
want-
encounters and doesn't believe in them. I've had like none, and I'm like, oh hell yes.
I don't want to go to bed at night alone thinking that that's a thing.
Oh,
I
because
don't
you're so
want to.
afraid of real murderers.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Well, that's
to
a
me.
way to contain it, I think, probably, is if you've experienced... This is why I don't like horror movies, which I think is different. It's uncontained. It's like I experience enough stress in what I suspect and what I like imagine to be possible in day-to-day life that like I don't want to go be stressed out. And it becomes very visceral. Like watching something like The Strangers. I don't know if you've seen that
is that
movie.
the one with that they had the bags on their head. And
It's like semi-realistic. It's not even like a ghosty thing. It's just like it's too fucking scary for me. I cannot.
And I feel like a lot of that stuff is like, I've heard so many people who believe in ghosts say that if you're scared of it, it's going to happen to you. You know what I mean? Like if you believe in it, it's going to happen.
I don't know.
You're like willing it to happen.
Well, I do think there's a little bit of sensitivity that makes
Right.
you available to, like, I mean, I feel the same way about psychics. Like, I don't straight up believe that people are walking around, like, the things that people claim to be able to do and read and interpret. I don't necessarily believe. I think it's a lot of junk, smoke and mirrors or whatever.
What's
but
a lot of the other person being open to it and wanting it to happen.
wanting it,
accepting it.
sure, absolutely. I think it's like anything else. It's something that can be mined and sort of prostituted, you know.
Yeah.
But what I do think is real in both veins of the metaphysical and the sort of what would you call it? The psychic and, you know, psychically interpretive. I think it's about honing. I think some people have the ability to sort of like maybe a less active right brain, or you know what I mean, like and so that they're able to sort of like permeate the dimensions a little bit.
Yeah.
Here's
Well,
my
I
theory.
found that. Well,
Here's my theory. I think if you don't believe in them, they're going to fuck with your shit.
no. Here's what I
Exhibit
found,
A,
though.
Georgia Hardstark. And me, I believe in them
You
so
just
much.
flipped the theory.
They don't
Yeah.
even care about you.
Yeah,
Here's
and then
what
they're
I have
like,
to say,
it's all right, we got her.
I just thought of this, that the times that anything has ever happened to me in my life, I've been really unhappy and unstable in my life. And the more happy I am in my life and the more comfortable I am in my environment, the less I'm scared of it, and nothing happens. When all that shit happened to me when I was a kid, it was when
fear
my parents were divorcing
perpetuates fear.
and my, you know, and I was living alone and with my family, and my mom was gone all the time. That happened then. It
Well,
doesn't
then,
happen
yeah,
now.
no, but we can go even further and say, is anything real beyond what we construct in the human mind? Like,
Nothing. No, I
like if fear
completely believe-
perpetuates itself.
We could
and
do
so,
anything we want with our fucking minds, and we don't.
And to that end, the same way they develop, space programs or even like medical science. It's like, take the smartest, most educated people, scientifically or in theoretical physics or whatever else, and put them in a room and create a think tank or some kind of environment where I think that's actually happening, where somebody is like privately funded a think tank just for people to come together, the most educated people to come together and imagine on a sci-fi level what is possible. Just like dream, because that's always what brings along. If you can conceive of it, it's possible.
Well, I've actually heard this in the similar, and I totally think that's amazing. But I've also heard that people get into a room in think tanks and imagine the worst possible outcome, like a plane flying into the World Trade Center, because if you imagine that it could happen, it's less likely to happen.
Weird.
Really? Yeah. So
Weird.
in the same way, where it's like, if I don't believe
But if you believe, but either of those things could be true depending on what you believe.
Right.
So it just eats itself. This is why I'm in therapy. I can't fucking, my brain turns inside out constantly.
I love it, but I love that
somebody,
we get to think like that.
Somebody recently just like, it was a joke I saw on stage, and I wish I could credit it to the person, but I can't. But it was like, I spent the last year in such this like intense existential crisis and like turmoil, just the anxiety. I mean, it was like a big transition year or whatever. But somebody said on stage recently, like, I don't know where I read it, but somebody said, yeah, I had an existential crisis once too, and then I turned 16 and I got over it. I'm like, yeah, why does it continue for me? I don't know.
It's always, it's funny. I think before I had to pay my own health insurance and car insurance and just cell phone bills, I had so much more time to devote to whether or not I really existed. And now I'm like, I really do, because I'd be in a shit ton of trouble if my debit card disappeared. Do you know what I mean? Like, the only thing that matters about my entire existence is my debit card. And that's like, so I used to worry about my soul, and now I'm like, oh shit, what's my Chase account like?
Yeah.
Because like, you can't function, but
that's comforting, though. I mean, that's comforting that because that's tangible. And if you're still like kind of doing this, like these acrobatics of what do things mean, and that's not to say that like I personally didn't go through some kind of like very specific journey in the last year, and sometimes you come across those moments in life and you have to like, entertain that like journey or whatever it is. But there's also, having been through that recently, I'm like, yeah, there's something really nice about being like, I'm just going to worry about my...
It's like having your feet on the ground.
My mail. Yeah.
Yeah. I have so much mail I've got to go through. You guys, I just opened up a Christmas card for my aunt. There was a check in it. Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. That you didn't thank her for.
Did not thank her for that yet. Just cashed it.
Should we do one more and then we could do fuck that?
Let's do one more and then we'll do fuck that.
One more, Emily. Let's get fucking existential.
Did we...
get an existential omelet up in here.
Can I say really quick the short version of what I learned this week?
Yeah.
It's just that... I decided this week that this is the week that for the rest of my life I'm flossing every day.
You absolutely have to
shake
floss.
on that?
No, but I mean I floss, but like it wasn't every day.
I don't either.
But now it's
Why now?
Forever. Just because it's time. I mean, it's time. Because I went to the dentist and I still don't have any cavities. I think that's crazy. So I feel like the least I can do.
I think they're
is
hereditary.
floss. Yeah, they must be.
I think I floss every day because when I look at the shit that comes out from between my teeth, I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Gotta get that out.
Every day.
So it's kind of, but then again, if you're in a bad place and like your car is a mess and there's like empty water bottles in it and you're just in one of those things where you're like, shit, I gotta thank my aunt for that Christmas check, for example, then you're less likely to take care of yourself. But when you're on a good path, when you're like, I don't deserve plaque in between my molars, then you're gonna floss the shit out of your
it's
teeth.
not even, it's habit. It's something that like I think people are afraid to start the habit for some reason, like that you won't be able to maintain it if you begin to attempt it. As far as like the daily.
You don't want to rise to daily and then fall the weekly.
Yes, exactly.
Wait, do you have contacts lens?
No.
No one here has. I don't know if Dustin, our engineer, does. But when you have contact lenses, it adds a whole new dimension to getting ready for bed. That just sucks so much dick. Because then you're like, I got to take my eye makeup, and then you add flossing to that. But you got to do it. You ready for the next? You ready for the next summer party question?
Yeah.
I'm
ready.
I hate this one. Let's do another one.
Okay.
Which one is it? Tell me.
It's light as a feather. What's a diet tip? That sucks. That's like a joke one that we do.
Allie's picking one for you,
if we're on a lighter, more feathery.
I like this question. Okay. We've never asked this before. What's
cool.
the favorite thing about yourself? That's a weird
That's a
question.
good
We've never
question.
asked this
I
on the
love it.
Slumber Party podcast. Do you have a favorite thing about yourself? I like your boobs right now. They look great.
Boobs are pretty great. I've got to
Yeah.
say. That shirt is
It's Twitter at Emily Maya Mills. Look her up on Instagram.
doing you favors.
Yeah, your boobs are great.
Should we twit pick this dick pic? Dick
Hey,
pic?
hey.
Should I dick pic my twit tits?
A tit pic.
Pick your
You got it.
My dick tits. Dick tits are what I call a transvestite with boobs.
Can you put it on Instagram?
I mean, a transgender.
Get an Instamam.
Insta-no,
It's
ma'am.
Instagram only for boob pics.
What's your favorite thing about yourself?
Should it be physical?
No. Anything you want.
You resolve. You can speak Portuguese. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think my favorite thing is that I don't know. I guess I've been lately kind of discovering that I have these like really high functioning peak moments where I have like this hyper focus ability, and so what I get so upset about myself is like when I'm in the low, which is not super high functioning, and can be spacey and a spaz and all this stuff. Something I've learned to admire about my mom is that she also too is like super high functioning and in this big picture way where. That's something that I guess that I enjoy about myself is that even though the lows can be like spazzy and like dysfunctional or whatever, the high functioning form of the way that my brain works, I think I really enjoy. I think it's
You get shit done.
fucking awesome. Yeah.
You're smarty pants. I like that about
Well,
you.
yeah, I mean, but in a weird way, not in like a detailed way, but in a big picture way.
You're an articulate smarty pants. I like that about you. That's my favorite thing about Emily Maya Mills. That's true. Georgia, what's your favorite thing about yourself?
Love you guys. This is really beautiful.
I like this is gorgeous. I like my boobs. No, they're not.
I love them.
Thank you.
Take one out.
I like my sarcastic sense of humor that I have with myself. That when I observe things, like I still joke with myself about them. You know what I mean? Like I like that I try to amuse myself.
I love that. Despite
Good trait. You have an inherent snark. You're hard snark.
Yeah.
your heart snark. Money should have fallen from the sky.
Wow, Alie, you just
when
won.
you said that. You won everything.
That's what I like about myself.
What do you like
Context
about
of this.
yourself?
Then I just said hard snark.
Yeah, I like that I always try to make myself amused and laugh, even though there's absolutely no point to do that. It's still
Thank God, because otherwise you just fear serial killers.
that would be it.
That'd be it.
And I'd be bad at math. Those are the two defining things of myself.
God, I'm with you. I'm on the heart snark train.
Alie, what's yours?
I think I like the parts about myself that are really masculine. Is that weird?
No, I know you like that.
I like that I love chopping wood and going camping and sometimes getting, being a hard ass and getting shit done when I need to in a way that's not demure.
Like
So
giving people enemas?
Like giving people fucking enemas. If you need to. No, but I think the things about me that I like are like that I like bugs and tools, shit like that.
You like that you're
love
not a girly girl.
I'm not much of a
Not
girl.
100%, but like you
It's
have
funny 'cause you're
all
still
of that
feminine,
woman.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if someone saw me if you had to do a Google image search, you'd be like, ugh, toddlers and tiaras, because it's all like curled red hair and flouncy
I feel like
dresses.
you rebel against that a lot.
Well, I've always been like that, though. I've always been like I used to ask my biology teachers for extra owl pellets because I wanted to dissect them and put them back together. It was
Amazing.
gross. Skeleton. I don't know. So
But
yeah,
that
I
makes
guess it's tomboy.
Yeah, level and well-rounded. Yeah, I've actually
Got a huge
heard,
dick, you guys.
Yeah, gigantic. Get that dick pic on that twit tits. I've heard or read before that you can actually, or that people who are successful in business or successful in life tend to have attributes of both that are both alpha and beta. Like somehow, I don't know exactly
That's
how it breaks
interesting.
breaks down because, yeah, I mean, it makes sense that you can communicate on levels that, there's not a level that is foreign to you. Because
You know
you're
what
able
that
to
sounds
communicate.
like to me is just being empathetic to
Yeah.
all sides. And I feel like that's probably a really good attribute to have if you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
Being powerful but empathetic is probably a good combo.
Awesome.
Not
combo.
not that of a sociopath
or psychopath.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm so curious about that. Okay, let's get to fuck that.
Okay.
Fuck that is a thing we do where it's like a thing that you love so much you want to fuck that, and then something else that you hate so much you're like fuck that.
Anything.
Ooh.
What's the thing that you hate? Like you're like fuck that. You know what? fuck that. It can be a senator. It can be
people
parking.
it could be people standing on an escalator and not walking.
I'll tell you what my
God damn it.
That's a good point, Georgia. And I'm sorry I interrupted you.
I hate those people. No, go what?
My fuck that? Can I tell you what my fuck
Yeah,
that is?
please.
You know what? If you're a public park and it's daytime, why the fuck are your bathrooms closed?
What?
I'm
Silver Lake Reservoir?
I'm jogging Silver Lake Reservoir. It's Sunday. It's 3 fucking p.m.
Services.
The dogs can piss
taxes.
anywhere. The dogs can piss anywhere. The kids can piss in their pants. You know who can't piss? Fucking adults who pay taxes right now.
Yeah.
I have to piss so bad. I'm on lap 2. I had a latte at brunch. Where am I supposed to empty this bladder? And then I'm like, you know what? I guess I'll only do 1 lap.
Well, you know my cousin. You could just knock on my cousin's door. He lives.
I do know your
Silver
cousin.
Lake
I
Reservoir.
jog past your cousin and I see him on his computer sometimes in his home.
I would like to meet your cousin.
Can I whiz on your lawn? Anyway, what's the thing that you hate?
I absolutely hate that baggers automatically bag. Well, it's not their fault. The plastic bag, that there's an automation or an automaticness to bagging with a fucking everything, like a one single fucking greeting card.
Like, I'm gonna put your like window spray.
But I just realized that it's displaced because just last night a woman said, and I was getting 1 bottle of water and she starts to slowly bag it, and I was like, I don't need a bag. I'm constantly like, I don't need a bag. I don't need a bag about anything. I'll take 5 items. I don't care, as long as they fit in my hands and I can get them to the car. I don't care. But she was like, I never know, because some people say, I don't want a bag, and then if you don't get a bag because it's just like a greeting card, they're like, need a bag. And I'm like, those are the people. Those people who need a bag for their greeting card should just be shoved into the landfills themselves.
As someone who I used to be a checker when I was like 19. I was a checker at a Whole Foods type store. And those
What's
people.
a Whole Foods type store?
It was called Wild Oats in LA and Santa Monica,
yeah.
and it was like the fucking crazy. Like people would scream at you, like, "Don't scan my food!" Like they don't want you to scan their food, like, pressing everything because they think the lasers from. I'm not even kidding you.
Oh my god!
And they would yell it rudely at you instead of saying like, "I don't need a bag for my card." Oh, can I get a bag for my card? They think that you're a stupid idiot because you didn't put their card in a bag, or because you tried to scan their can of kidney beans.
Right.
Like, bitches. I fucking hate that. And then,
Is that your hate too? Is that your double?
I get it.
Do you have a fuck that?
That's it.
Do you have a fuck that you like?
Oh, fuck yeah. You go. What's yours?
I'm going to go for a nice and easy number 110. It's a shade of auburn. I enjoy. I use it on my own head. It gives me cancer all over my head.
All over my body, inside and out.
But it costs $6.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I do my damn color myself.
It's gorgeous.
Right.
Thanks.
Gorgeous.
I've got some
red
roots.
ain't easy.
It's fine. I buy it at the drugstore. Life is easy. What's yours?
This is going to sound very cliche. I'm a single woman and in my 30s. Fuck that little dog of mine. I will fuck that
Your dog is
I will fucking
ridiculous.
I will put a fucking top hat and a tuxedo on that dog and marry him on a beach.
You have a really great dog.
He's amazing.
What kind of dog is it? I don't know your dog.
He's Jack Russell and Chihuahua, but he's like not at either of those things. He's like a cat. He's an
like this
old
mellow
soul.
thing.
He just wants to. He's an angel.
You don't mind picking up the poop?
I don't. Not his.
Not his.
You don't mind giving the enema?
Oh, when you love
Not
something. When you love
Touche, my friend.
yeah, you got a good dog for sure.
He's a hell of a man.
Did you say what your fuck that yes is, Georgia? Come on, wrap it up. This better be a good one.
I'm trying. Oh my god,
Emily, my
milk
Mills just drank the rest of my wine spritzer. Shit's happening. Come on.
Fuck yeah, the fact that next week we get to go dress shopping for our TV show, and we get money for that someone else is paying for our dresses, and I'm really excited about that. And I know, Alie, that the tomboy inside of you hates that we're getting money for dresses, and you have this look on your face.
I'm okay with the dresses.
I love shopping.
Georgia loves shopping. I see it as a task. We have to leave with some dresses.
beautiful.
Georgia does love it. I'm like, I like that I'm crossing a thing off my list. Mm-hmm. But
I feel
I'm not like, put me in a thing
as
that
the
everyone
youngest
looks
of
at.
3. And
I'm the youngest of 3.
I know, but one of them is a boy, and the cousins, and we were poor, so I got all the hand-me-downs. I love going shopping and getting my own fucking clothes.
Yeah, but we're buying used clothing, so it's still a dead lady's dress, but it's like from 1954, so it's
I don't care. As long as it's not my cousin Mitchie's like Adidas sweatsuit from like 73 and it doesn't fit me correctly.
You know what I'm going to do? You're going to try and address and I'm going to pop up behind you and go, the spirits are active.
Yeah, I was going to say, that lady was wearing that dress.
Dun, dun, dun.
On that note, the spirits in the slumber party are active tonight.
They're active.
We're going to all go get a drink to toast to that.
Oh, it's Friday.
It's haunted.
It's not haunted. I
so
promise you. There's no such
scared.
thing.
Emily My Mills, we can find you at UCB on the 19th.
Yeah, March 19th, I'm doing my one-woman show called God Hates Figs.
Oh my God. I love it.
God hates figs, you guys. Also,
see it.
Emily My Mills is on Twitter, and if you're not following her, I feel bad for you, so correct that immediately. Emily My Mills, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for
Yeah,
having me.
we adore
This
you.
is the best.
We're going to freeze your underpants.
Let's all
Yeah.
curl up and hug each other.
Let's tell ghost stories, fake ones.
Tickle party. Ew. What? Enema party. What did I say? Tickle party. I can't remember.
Which one's gross? I don't know.
All
all
of them. Well, they're put together, so it's just the grossest.
Anima Train.
Go to feralaudio.com and listen to all the awesome podcasts, but especially ours, because it's the best. Sorry. Love you, Chelsea Brady, but ours. I love you. Bye.
They just listened to ours, though.
I know.
You
There's
know
more,
what I mean?
though.
Okay, that's true.
Bye.
Hey, wrestling fans.
And non-wrestling fans.
Check out our podcast, You Should Love Wrestling, the show where we try to convince our friend to love wrestling.
I hate wrestling. We talk about all the best and worst parts of wrestling.
Like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Spills a lot of beer.
Or Yoshiko.
That's a literal sex doll that wrestles.
All in an effort to help you love professional wrestling.
Subscribe to You Should Love Wrestling in iTunes or your favorite podcasting app.